These people are as interested in what happens in Iowa as you folks are on what happens on Neptune. And so, believing that they are the center of the world, as New Yorkers do, I grew up there, went to graduate and undergraduate school there, they think this is the universe. So, who the hell are you, governor of South Dakota, to enable your people to live a somewhat normal life and make a living when we in New York are suffering? Get it? That's what it is. It is not conceivable New York City would have shut down if half the deaths of the country were in Montana. Is that correct, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I mean by the shallow media. They don't ask anything of intelligence. They're there simply to smear the president. That is their raison d'etre. That is it. There is no other purpose to the New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, etc. That is their purpose. They acknowledged it. Remember the New York Times? Well, CNN, this is all we're here. We're just here to cover Trump and make sure he's not reelected. $35,000 deaths in the U.S., almost 17,000 of them in New York. That means New York City. So half the country's death. Then you add New Jersey is another 3,500. It's more than half the country. And then, anyway, it's almost pointless to add anything else because it's all New York. You go from 16,736 New York to 3,500 New Jersey, 2,093 Michigan. The numbers become very small relative to the population of the country. Question, Sean, would you please play the moronic Glendale recording that they sent to people? That's where we broadcast. The city has been taken over by shallow authoritarians. I'm sorry to say, because I really enjoy it here. It's worse than Los Angeles. You do not have to wear a mask in Los Angeles when you're outside and not in a crowd. But here you do. $1,000 fine.
Are now required anytime you leave your home. This includes going on a walk, picking up essential goods, or walking your pet. Okay,
so that was my favorite part, walking your pet, because you may infect your pet. It's a beautiful thing when you think about it. Glendale's special. See, it's an amazing, I'll bet you there are one or two people, I don't know who runs Glendale. I have no idea. Nobody in Glendale knows. But some fanatic, some crackpot, someone who has fallen for this notion, better safe than sorry is the new motto of the United States, has just gone overboard. Also, they get an erotic thrill of controlling others' lives. I have no doubt about it. It gives them the same rush that the act of intimacy does. The endorphins that are produced in controlling other people is awesome. You go home, you feel good about yourself, you're protecting your citizens, you have power over people. It's a rush. Even some Republicans on occasion feel that, but that is universal to the Democrats. They have threatened a $1,000 fine. I will take the $1,000 fine when I walk outside. I will take the fine and then go to court. And hopefully it will become a national story. I have no desire for a national story, but I do have a desire to protect liberty. You are not going to tell me to wear a mask under stupid circumstances because you think you have the power to. Okay? So that's my contempt. I look forward to getting the $1,000 fine. Somebody's got to fight, folks. Somebody, that's my nature. As I've said to you, good people are divided among three groups. Remember, everything I've said has come home to roost. Those who fight, those who help the fighters, and those who do nothing. And the greatest number do nothing. That's of good people. Nothing is surprising to me. Nothing. Unfortunately, I might add. I'm reading here in the American, in the what is it? The American Federal? No, American Greatness and the Federal. Which one is on the restaurants that you just sent me?
I think that's the Federal.
That the danger of vast numbers of restaurants closing. You know, Sweden didn't close down. People have been at restaurants the whole time. Scientists have gone berserk against Sweden because scientists believe that they're gods. That's why the Talmud has a great line, the best of the doctors goes to hell. Tov shebarofim legehinom. I very rarely cite the Hebrew because it's of no use to the vast majority of you, but I'm doing it now because I think you need to know I didn't make it up. Yes, they had more wisdom 2,000 years ago. Less knowledge, but more wisdom. Because people in the sciences think they're gods. Not all. There are some wonderful people in the sciences, and there are a lot of narcissists. It's very easy to think you're God when you're involved in health. You have life and death. How many of us deal with life and death every day? They're very angry at Sweden. You didn't listen to scientists? I guess, you know what? I guess Sweden is deniers. Well, never been a fan of Sweden. They were neutral in World War II, so my unhappiness with Sweden goes back a long time. They were the leaders in attacking the U.S. over Vietnam. And a whole host of issues. But now, I gotta say, you never know where your saving grace, as it will come from. Another psalm. Where will my saving, not in savior in the sense of the Christian concept of savior, but who's gonna save me? And it turns out Sweden. The Swedes believe that they have herd immunity. If it comes back, this virus, we'll see what happens then in Sweden versus the nations around it.